You are now listening to Living in It Radio. Hello.
Hello.
I'm Mira.
I'm Ava.
And we are your hosts
for Living in It Radio.
Hell yeah. So, this episode, I'm not going to limit it to a time frame because it's possible this will be the first of 4 episodes this week, or it will be the only for 4 months. And that's entirely up to Summer and what that has planned. But for now, clap.
Claps for Pride Month.
You guys don't have to clap, but we just clapped. Okay, so we're about to play a conversation we had with a bunch of our friends from every side point on the LGBTQ gender sexuality spectrum about Pride Month. And they're also people of different races, different ages, just to get some perspective on everything we thought of that's going on with Pride Month and rainbow capitalism and queer baiting and that kind of stuff. But we're just going to provide a little bit of context for anyone who doesn't know the history of Pride Month or the Pride celebration as a whole. So,
yes. By definition, according to people.com, I believe, Pride Month is a month where we take the time to uplift and celebrate LGBTQ plus voices as well as LGBTQ plus activism. It takes place in June. It was started in June 1969.
It was started to commemorate the Stonewall riots of 1969 when the police raided a popular gay bar that the Stonewall Inn. The month is meant for activism and celebration, but as you hear in our conversation that's yet to come, it has not been that always. So yeah, that's pretty much all the context you need. It's a really important month for a lot of people, but it has transitioned to being a place for people to center themselves and silence other people and just ignore. The word came to me. So it's important that LGBTQ youth and straight youth alike are getting together and talking about this, and that's what we did. So enjoy.
Thank you.
Hey guys. So Alright, there is an audio limit to this, and there's only so much you can edit out. But I'm here with
us.
Los Amigos.
Hi.
We have Priyo.
What's up, guys?
Jada.
Hey.
Orla.
Hi.
Liv.
I don't speak Spanish.
Okay.
Karishma. Ava, who's obviously here. And Nora.
Hi.
She just waved. I want you to know she waved at a microphone. How has everyone's week been?
Can I go first?
Sure.
It's the week after 8 p.m. I'm having withdrawal symptoms, guys.
I'm sorry to hear, Brielle. How's it making your week been?
I love supporting my LGBT friends, though, so. Okay. Talk over me, everybody. I love that. Of course, it's a black girl, guys.
Sorry, Jada.
Quiet
Coyote.
Thank you. What was the question?
How's your week?
Pretty simple question. It just started. I don't know. It's Monday. I finished my song.
Yeah!
Woo!
Orla?
Okay. Well, trying to figure out what I'm doing for the showcase thing of our exterms. I'm in the pandemic exterm. Ooh, very exciting. Very thrilling.
Is it though?
You can't tell. So yeah, look forward to it, I guess.
Woo!
Yeah.
Olivia Reese.
Yes. Well, just got back from a joyride in a van that we made at Camera Obscura.
Not child abuse.
Not I was trying to kidnap.
Not child endangerment.
No, we weren't endangered, although there were a bunch of minors in a completely sealed up from light van driving around Jenkintown.
She's like, we're not endangered, but then just described endangerment.
Yeah, no, we were definitely endangered, but it's okay.
I don't know. All right, Karishma, do you have a sentence about your week?
I made it to the gay news and
Yes!
because I went to Pride and
Amen.
I got free rolled ice cream because I was gay.
What flavor?
It was mint Oreo.
Okay, that's
really
good.
good.
Sounds good.
And my grandma found it out, so now I have to come out to her. So there's no problem. It's okay.
Vivian just walked in.
Hi, Viv.
Hi, Vivian.
This feels like
We're recording. Yeah. Rude. Anyway, Ava.
Me? I don't know. The week started. I have a headache.
I bet it's being we're helping a lot.
So much. I appreciate it so
Yeah,
much.
that was helpful.
We're such great
Love you,
friends,
Ava.
guys.
Might as well be a doctor.
Yeah.
Gone now.
Ow. I hope this gets done.
It will.
So do I.
Oh, me. My week was good. I was sitting in a room editing footage of news, and then I've done editing today, and I spent all weekend being stressed out because I had to interview my brother. But yeah, that's it.
Preface. Words.
Preface.
By saying if there's anything that's like a joke about racism or homophobia.
It came from Prale.
It is, well, first of all, it came from Prale or Jada. Second of all, it is a joke.
Anyway, my week was good. Thanks for asking. I just spilled iced tea every fucking
was
word.
stranded in DC with a broken thumb.
Toe.
Broken toe thumb.
We wish he could be here because he would just contribute so much.
Oh, would he? His foot fell off in Maryland.
Okay. Ready?
Okay.
We're going to talk about rainbow capitalism.
What? Well,
So,
not.
one of the biggest problems when it comes to Pride Month.
No wonder no one's tried to make a podcast with us before. For real.
Alright,
Oh my
so
God,
one.
it started in June 1969?
Wow, that's old.
Go ahead. No, 69.
I think
You're
we need to put
funny.
people-
Okay. So one of the biggest problems when it comes to Pride Month as a concept and other history months also, but I think Pride has the rainbow, which is a very marketable thing. So there's a thing called rainbow capitalism where brands who have previously done homophobic things or just have not stood up for queer representation or anything like that will start pretending to be such good allies by making their logos and their products rainbow. And it's very annoying because if you buy something you think you're supporting, you're like, oh, this must be going to something for a charity, but it isn't. It's just supporting the big thing is Target, which this year I think did actually you guys can talk.
Target kind of stepped up their Pride collection, according to what I saw. Let's not talk about Target.
No, so Target
Walmart.
this year apparently
They paired up with someone.
They paired with a queer artist, which is good.
Slay.
But in the past they have just you just slap rainbow on
a
a
rainbow.
Like, yes, Queen Hunty Mama, with rainbows and sparkles in the back. Like, yes, Slay Mama Queen.
They'll put a rainbow on a
in
tank.
the house town.
Also dehumanizing.
No, they'll put a rainbow on a tank top that looks like some of your Bitmoji would wear. And they're like, guys, we're not homophobic. Oh my God, I'm changing my Bitmoji's outfit as we speak. Sorry.
Oh my god.
In all complete honesty, who is buying all of this shit?
No
because
one.
My mom.
yeah, exactly.
No, all allies. We're like, wow, look
it's
at me.
the
And I'm like, you look ugly.
It's the
look
support. It's
good.
the parents that they think are being supportive, but they're
not.
not.
They're
Like my
trying,
mom,
but-
my own mother went out and bought me Pride
Your
socks.
gay mother.
My gay mother is ever since I came out, it is all oh, let me make you as gay as you can be. So, and my brother.
My mom orders gay stuff from Zulily. Not even during Pride
Yeah.
Month. I'll just walk into my room and there'll be a shirt that's love everyone, and it has a bad rainbow that's out of order. And she's like, do you like it? I got it for you. And I'm like, yeah, mom, definitely.
But then it's you go out in public.
Mom, if you're listening to this, I love it. Actually, but it gives me pajamas.
But it's also you go out in public and you risk others hurting you or treating you badly for wearing this, while you paid $30 for a rainbow tutu.
Right.
So
It's a huge statement.
Shout out
There
to
was a
Target.
Pride last year. I was looking at the Pride merch, and then I walked away from it, and I was one of the only people who went there. It was completely. The rest of the Target was a mess, but that part of the Target was clean. No one had touched it, and I saw a bunch of in their 40s white soccer moms walking past. They're I can't believe they have this stuff. This is so ridiculous.
That's a very traditional thing to happen, though.
Yes, and I was just that's so saddening. Also, if Target didn't do that, if stores didn't make their crappy Pride collections, wouldn't we think they're homophobic? Or would we not? I
Well,
don't.
that also comes down to like how what the
add
people
this?
said.
It's
Like where they were like,
Yeah.
like blah blah blah. I feel like that's also comes from generational like upbringing because I feel like almost anybody from like the 39 to 75 plus age group, but if they saw this chair, they'd be like, oh my god, just trying to promote pride all throughout the year, and then it's like, no, it's just a cool pattern that's on the chair. If you want it to represent pride, sure, but like it's a pattern on the chair.
It's also only rainbow.
It's also
But
only
then, like,
rainbow.
I feel like rainbow has turned from like I feel like because it used to be like a little girl thing and putting heavy quotes over that because that's stupid and dumb and that's definitely
Yeah, but you could
probably
get
going
a
to be
bunch of little girl dresses with like.
with like rainbows, but now it's like
My Little Pony.
now it's like it's come to mean something, which is good, but I think it also is like you wear a rainbow and it's like
You're all of a
there's like
sudden
a whole
gay.
thing with it like Apple like backgrounds where they have the rainbow.
Oh,
They're like,
yeah.
oh my god, they're
Yeah.
pride flags. I'm like, they're not. They're just rainbows.
lines of color.
Yeah.
Well, one thing that Ava brought up that is fair, it's like the double standard of if they have like a really crappy pride collection, everyone's like, this is like not supporting them. But then when they don't have it, people are like, why don't they have one? So there's got to be like a way to have a happy medium for both.
yeah.
But I will say, I was at the outlet malls the other day. Doesn't matter why. And my dad was like,
Girls 85.
I kind of
Doesn't matter why.
Literally, I'm like,
Go to outlet
you
malls
will
all
get
the time.
it literally
You
a
get some
grandmother.
skills.
My dad, we love my daddies.
Joe.
The greatest. Yeah, Joe.
Shout out to Joel.
He was walking, like we were walking by some stores, and it was either the first day of Pride Month or like the week before. And he's like, "Why are all these stores like rainbow just to make a buck?" I was like, "Thanks, Dad. Way to go, Joe. Way to know." And I was like, "Thank you for noticing," because I was like, "It's not good."
My dad is the kind of supportive dad where he just doesn't give any craps. He's just like, one time I was sitting in the car and we were talking about something and I was like, oh yeah, like I was like, oh yeah, I'm like gay or whatever. It wasn't even coming out because I had come out before, but he was like, okay. And then we just kept driving. I was like, all right, thanks, Dad.
Way to talk.
Yeah.
What a
But,
combo.
I think this whole thing is Pride Month as a whole. Something we were talking about earlier was like a few days ago when we had this conversation before. It was like Pride Month has turned into such a corporate thing that it's like taking away, and honestly, it's doing more harm than good when it comes to like. It has now turned into a way for white people in the LGBTQ community to center themselves and further silence people of color that are also queer and also just people of color in general. It just feels like it's turning into such a like capitalist white supremacy thing that I feel like it's almost like I feel like it shouldn't exist on the scale that it does now. Like it should be dialed back. Like so I don't know if any of you know about the like Philly Pride and how it's turning into a march instead of like a celebration. There was some things revealed about the company or group of people that started the Pride movement in Philly.
The leaders were transphobic.
Yeah, they are transphobic. There's some racist allegations, stuff like that, and so they basically got shut down.
Well, I think it's the idea of in society, intersectionality is like continuously frowned upon. Like you can't be, there's no idea of a spectrum. Like our world that we live in, it's so like you have to be a Republican, you have to be a Democrat. You can't be independent.
It's so dumb.
Exactly.
Nothing
There's
on
only-
earth is that one or the other.
Exactly.
The world isn't divided into
There's
good
so much
people
gray area and
dictators.
everything, and people always get that confused.
And even in
Black and
like
white.
race relations and racial conversations, like even at our school, like we talk so much about the Black community and the African American community.
Rightfully so,
But yeah,
there
not
still needs
saying
to be
that's
more.
bad.
Many other communities.
But then it's like,
And
where's the
everyone else-
ratio for like
Everyone
API
else,
people?
everyone else in the gray area is kind of left in the dust because
Yeah.
it's so weighed upon. And I get that you guys have the numbers at the school, and that's great, and you guys deserve every single bit of that representation. But at the same time, it's like there's no balance. It's either one or the other. You can't have both. And it's the same thing I feel like that's happening here with the whole Philly Pride. You can't be black and you can't be a lesbian. You have to be either or. You have to choose bits and pieces of your identity.
Well, because those in power want to keep things black and white because they don't want to question authority.
Because it helps people, and then people who don't want to dive into the way that the like complex way that it impacts us. I feel like they want to keep it black and white because they want to be like, oh, I'm not actively being racist, so I'm good. And they don't want to dive into the like, well, I have privilege, so I have to do more than just not say the N-word. Like, it's just like, I feel like it's a form of escapism for people.
I think people on both sides of this, like black or white, that shouldn't exist, are usually so like passionate about it that like people don't want to be stuck in the middle, because then they're not really taken by either side. So like I find that people will like just split kind of down the middle and don't consider that there's definitely a space in between.
Back to the whole pride thing, where for the first time in forever they did a indigenous people recognition, where they had people from the tribe that was on the land of where we were speak, and in the tribe they're called like two-spirited people who are like trans, and it was very interesting. They had like one of their leaders was two-spirited and was a member of, they called it our community, and they did a whole recognition. She sang a song. We all went down and like touched the ground and paid our respects, and it was kind of like they were like, we support you guys, now support us back. Yeah. So it was like definitely like they're building a new place down there for the indigenous people, and it's definitely like, yeah, we definitely like as the LGBTQ community, we've gotten so much respect from people. Like it's enough that like we even get a pride section in Target, where I guess other groups should get more recognition, but obviously they'll take more time. But like with the whole like pride in Target and stuff like that, like it's just a step in the right direction. No matter how much it like isn't enough, it's still something.
Yeah, and I think with that, like, it's even interesting to see, like, there's no real section in Target for AAPI month. There's no real marketable aspects of that. Like, even for Black History Month, there's no real marketable aspects of that. So I find it a little, but I find it interesting that there is this idea of, like, I don't know, it's just the idea that everything has to be capitalized to make it in this world.
Yeah. So unfortunately, we have to cut this down. But I think the main ideas that everyone's talking about is like, I mean, I think it's just because pride. I don't know. I feel like it's something disconnected from race. So it's a way to make something that's like not about race, but it definitely is. And I think we're just talking about how pride is not what it needed to be. But thank you guys so much for listening to this. Do you guys have any like final one sentence thoughts?
Why are people reduced to a symbol or something? I don't know, like why is humanity reduced in general? I feel like something more simplistic.
Easy to consume.
Yes.
Yep.
So always a way to make money.
Capitalism
Why is
consumes us
convenience
all.
so big in one country? Oh, hold on, quick.
Why is everything literally?
Hey guys! Hello! So this is the long-awaited Heather Help Me, the anonymous advice panel. The Google form, if you want to fill out a Heather Help Me application, is in the bio of our Instagram. So, yeah. You should go do that if you have problems, if you have cold tea. Just please don't expose anyone. Don't use real names, and it is all anonymous. So just be mindful that you're being respectful and you're not putting anyone in danger or making anyone feel uncomfortable. But otherwise, go right ahead. All right, so this is our first question.
In a big friend group, isolation is a given. People break off into fragments. Is it okay to exclude others just because you don't really mesh or because you have enough people going to the movies, for example? Being in a huge friend group is so hard, and some days you don't know how to handle it. Heather, help me.
Oh. Yeah. I'm sure you guys know that like the 6 people we had just now for the main topic was like, that took a while to narrow down because we are in a big friend group, and Ava's had that pretty much her whole life, but this is my first time really having a friend group that's more than like 7 people. I think we have like 18. It's a whole thing.
It's like, it's even like weird because it's like not like we all go hang out like all the time. It's more of just like these are like the general group of people that we all hang out with, and we all do consider each other like a friend group. But it's a whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, I love our friend group because it feels like you can be with any combination of the people, and it feels good. And the thing is, our friend group forged from 2 separate friend groups, which I think is the best way to do it, because you have like, oh, your original friends, but then you're like, oh, let's get this group of people together or whatever. And it's like, so this question specifically is, it says isolation is a given, which is, it's true in a way, but I feel like you just have to not let it get to you.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's something I've always struggled to accept, is you're not going to be everyone's favorite person. You're not going to be everyone's favorite friend. You're not going to always be invited, and you can't always invite everyone. And I think as long as everyone understands that, it shouldn't be too much of an issue if someone gets excluded, as long as it's not just one person, because that can feel crappy.
Yes.
Like, I feel like limiting things to a certain number of people and switching it up often is like the best way to avoid someone feeling like they're excluded because of who they are and not just because you have too many people.
Right. Like, it's gonna happen. You can't avoid it. So transparency and communication are key. Like, if you set these boundaries and saying, hey, we're not always gonna be able to hang out as an entire group all the time, and sometimes we're gonna want to hang out with only a couple people at a time, then it's still gonna hurt maybe a little bit. I know I'm sensitive, so like it will always hurt. But if you set those boundaries, then it's gonna hurt a little less, because you've said, okay, we can't always hang out together all the time. And I've had, at my last school, it was like 9 people in our friend group, which is still large to me. And we never hung, like, there's only a few times where we all hung out together, because it's just so hard and everyone's busy. Everyone has busy schedules. And
I have a group of friends from dance where it's 4 people, and the last time, oh no, it's 5 people, and the last time we all hung out together was the end of last summer. It's just because we're all in high school, we all go to different schools, like we all have different schedules, and it's fine, because as long as you're aware of that and you don't take it personally, and you make sure other people aren't taking it personally. And group chats. Group chats are the best. Yes. I think, because I think if you're trying to do it individually, there's a chance you could just forget someone, or you could just purposefully leave someone out. And I think you just be like, hey, does anyone want to come? And then someone who you're not meshing with, quote unquote, might show up, but it's still gonna happen. Like, it's still gonna be fun.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's the best way to invite everyone, but also, like, I don't know where I was going with that, and I totally cut you off. I'm so sorry.
You're fine. What was I gonna say? Oh, recognize that you're not like what you're saying, you're not best friends with everyone in the friend group, I'm sure, and you're not everyone's favorite person, and I'm sure not everyone is your favorite person. So sometimes, and I know it hurts that maybe like your favorite person is like someone else's favorite person, but they're not your favorite person, and so then they're hanging out without you, and it hurts, but it's gonna happen when you're in these situations. I think it's worth it, because like you will never be bored, and you will never run out of friends.
Yeah. Thing is, like, the best part about having a big friend group, like, a bunch of people probably listen to this and they're like, oh no, like, it's not worth it. And I know it's a lot easier said than done to be in a friend group, but honestly, you just need to put yourself out there and introduce your talents to the world. I'm one of the weirdest people you will ever meet, and it's when it, like, I walk into school on a different day, I'm a different person, and I'm so, like, rude and snarky, but I found my people, and they know that about me, and they've accepted it, and they match that. So I feel like if you just sit in the corner, like, I don't know how this has turned into, like, being rude, but I know, and if there's someone struggling to join a friend group, it's easier said than done. People are obnoxious and rude, but you have to trust that, like, the right friend group will come if you put yourself out there. And you don't have to be best friends with everyone, but what I love about my friend group is no matter what class I'm in, I know I have at least one person, and it's like, because I know so many people, and you just gotta go put yourself out there. And you know, there's so many people in the world that I feel like even if your friends are hanging out without you, or you have to hang out without other people, like, you can get to a place where you trust that they have something else to do or you have something else to do, so no one's ever bored. And some people just like being alone, so don't assume that if someone doesn't want to come, they don't like you or they don't want to hang out with you. It could just be that they're an introvert and they like staying home better.
Yeah. Definitely.
Okay. Second
Okay.
one. All right. Okay. I don't know how to keep touch / make plans with friends during the summer. Any advice? I am not good at this. Me and Ava we're both going away for summer, so this is not a good this is not a good question for the two of us.
No.
But I would say in previous summers, really just communication is so key. And be open that not everyone is going to be able to do every day. And it might be hard because summer is so full of like activities for everyone that some people might just never see you all summer, which I personally like. As much as I love my school friends, the reason why I like to go away all summer is it gives you a break to reset, to think about how each person makes you feel, how you make those people feel, work on yourself without other people around. And you can make other friends that you have over the summer, and then you have all year to think about them. It's a flat back and forth, but obviously I'll keep in touch. So just check in on them. Send them random pictures of stuff you're doing. We have Locket. A lot of our friends have Locket. It's a really good thing because you can just take a picture of anything and send it to them, and it'll show up on their home screen.
Yeah, I don't know how many...
Not sponsored, by the way. It's just something that we do all the time.
Yeah, I don't know how many like text conversations have come out of Locket for me personally, like friends that I haven't texted in a while. Like my friends from my old school, and they'll like send me Locket, and I'll be like, "What are you doing?" And they'll explain exactly like, "Why are you taking a picture of a frog?" and then we chat about it and we like catch up. So definitely Locket is a great thing to do.
Or Snapchat, like Snapchat or Instagram stories, or just like I love sending random TikToks to my friends.
Yes.
Like the amount of times I'll send a TikTok to Priya and then we'll just talk for 2 hours after that. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Just FaceTime them at random times. They may not pick up, but it's a great way. Just like reach out and don't expect that they're gonna reach out to you because they might. But I would say like sometimes people just forget or they are bad and they're scared that you're not gonna want to talk to them. So just like reach out and don't be afraid to put yourself out there.
Yeah.
Put yourself out there.
Also, what I find is good, because I'm not a flaky person. If I make plans with you, that's what's going on.
Yeah.
But I
hope
have...
I'm not flaky.
No. But I have flaky friends who, like, suck at plans. There are two people who, if you're listening, you know exactly who you are, but that's besides the point.
Is this people here?
No.
I have friends here and other places where it's like you call them and you're like, hey, can you hang out tomorrow? They're like, oh yeah, definitely. And then morning of, they'll be like, ooh, actually, I forgot I had a really important dentist appointment. And I'm like, you couldn't have checked yesterday when I got all excited?
That's my thing. I always, before I send the text,
Don't
I'm like,
do that.
am I actually
Get
free?
a family calendar so all your family can update it. Because the amount of times I've been like, what do I have today? Nothing. And my mom's like, actually, we're going to see your cousin's graduation. I'm like, what? I didn't know about this until the minute before.
My mom told me that like on Saturday that we were going to my cousin's confirmation on Sunday, and I was like, I was gonna sleep in, but fun times, Mom.
Great. Fabulous. Apparently my sister has an event tonight that I can't go to because I have dance and I have a recital over the weekend and I'm done. And she was like upset about it. I was like, I'm sorry, but I literally like I didn't know this was happening until today.
It happens especially as you get older with your siblings. Like you just like,
oh my god, siblings. We need to have a whole thing with siblings.
Oh
we need to bring in Micah and Seal and get them to talk with us.
We chit chat.
Yeah,
coming soon.
So I think that's it.
Yes.
Our first podcast is over. This is insane. If you made it this far, thank you so much.
It was just a really long episode, actually.
It was really just like 8 people talking over each other the whole time.
But it's fun. It's like a little memory for us. It doesn't even need to like be a thing that everyone is like, oh my gosh.
And I think
tune into our podcast.
Oh my god. Because we're so famous.
They're so fabulous and famous, I know.
But anyway, yeah, I think it still provided some good insight into what it's like to live as a teenager
At a Quaker school.
At a Quaker school in this time, and the perspectives of all the diverse group of people that were sitting around the circle, and even the diversity between the two of us. But for now, I guess we'll see you later.
Thank you so much for listening.
Bye. I just